Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you don't know me or haven't seen me before, my name is Ariana Sidway. I am a holistic health practitioner pending my doctorate and PhD in natural medicine. And so I really bridge the gap between spirituality, healing from the past, manifestation, all those things. So if that is your groove and your situation and you're into that stuff, I really want to share a very what is this? Something that's very, very important. Something that I wish someone told me this literally 4 years ago. I don't regret anything about my own journey. I know that everything is happening as it should. I'm exactly where I need to be. And everything happened perfectly for me because now I get to teach on it. Now I get to share what didn't work for me and where it led me and the mistakes, I guess, that I learned so much from and actually gained a lot more in return from making the mistakes. But just like so much about healing and manifestation. And this is like one of those videos where I'm kind of like all over the place, kind of scatterbrained, and it's just going to be a word vomit. Because I was actually making an Instagram post on my Instagram talking about this subject, and I was like, immediately something came through me and was like, get your camera, put this on YouTube. So I have no idea how long this is going to be, but I want to share some things about my journey and then also share this massive like overall teaching or training or whatever that I want to share, which is that you don't need to heal to manifest. Now, does manifestation include and require healing? Yes, but there is so much like confusion that I had, and it wasn't even confusion. I genuinely thought this is how you do it, and I was doing it for years, and it wasn't working for me. And I see so many comments on not only my posts and my readings, but in other people's videos and posts that I see, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like so many people are struggling with this concept right now. And I have so much experience with it. So I want to share it with you and share how I went about things and what the shift is and how you guys can actually start seeing results in your journey and in your life right now. If you feel like you've been on this journey for months, you've been healing yourself, you're on this spiritual healing journey, right? And you're just like, how come every year goes by and I'm still in the same situation, or it's taking me so freaking long, but I'm seeing so many people collapse time and grow and quantum leap, and I know that I can do that, but what am I missing, right? Like so many people are so confused by healing and manifestation, and there's so much talk about obviously these subjects online, so depending on who you follow, you might be getting contradicting information, and so then it's like, well, I feel so confused, and then you're maybe even get to this place of like, F this, like, I don't even know, like you disconnect from your power and you have no idea what you're doing. So I'm here for all those people. And even if you are killing it at life right now and you're crushing it and you've cracked the code and you're doing your thing, like freaking awesome. Congratulations. And I don't know, maybe you can relate to my story. So I genuinely had this belief because I knew that healing and manifestation go hand in hand. And it's so funny because I don't have an audience. I'm home alone right now. My dog is literally like watching me as if like she's listening, like, yes, mother, like, yes. So I genuinely believed that healing and manifestation are together. Like I always knew that in order to manifest, it requires you to look within yourself and challenge yourself to let go of beliefs that contradict the manifestation coming in, or clearing energies from your body. And if you're holding a lot of shame and operating from fear, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to become a vibrational match for your desire if you are living in fear, right? Like your energy is actually closed off and repelling abundance. So I knew that healing and manifestation go together. Now, what I thought I had to do, and mind you, I have like 4 degrees in all these things, but I was learning as I was applying to my life. And so I'm like doing all the studying, like I was really in the books, I was really studying for my certifications and my degrees, but I was also like trying it out on myself for a long time. And I had a lot of unresolved trauma from the past. So I didn't ever like sit down and think this, but I found myself subconsciously operating from this belief. And it wasn't until I really sat with myself and was like, I uncovered it from the subconscious. And I was like, I became conscious of, I'm like, oh, that's why I'm operating this way. And I didn't even really recognize that. So what happens is like a lot of people believe that you have to heal first So you kind of become a recluse, and you heal, and you're addressing all these things within yourself, and you can't start to move forward. You can't manifest until you heal these wounds. I functioned from that belief. I thought I have to heal in order to manifest the things that I desire. And that is true, but it put me in this mentality of like structured healing. Like, I have to heal all of these things first, and then I will become this new person because I healed. Then I will start to manifest things. So what this looked like was me healing and healing and healing and healing and healing and healing for so long. Like, literally, I started healing, I would say, like, really sitting with myself, meditating, journaling, reflecting, sitting with my inner child, understanding and listening to the voices within me that are speaking up, whether it was my spirit, my intuition, or my ego. Like, I really started doing this work, I would say, in 2019, moved in with my boyfriend in 2021, and then worked like a bunch of random odd jobs to like make sure we could have food on the table and our bills were paid. Like, also trying to have fun and live my young 20 life, you know, and then also learn these things and get my degrees. So at this time, I'm like, I had this big vision dream self that I was working towards, someone who had a business, who had a lot of clients coming in, like all of these things, right? Like, I had the vision, but the whole time I was like, well, you can't do that until you heal your mother wound. You can't do that until you heal your money relationship. You can't do that until you release this shame. And so I would sit with the shame. I would do all this shadow work and this inner child healing, like, over and over and over again. And I woke up 3 years later, and I'm still, like, things in my life, I have been able to manifest things. Like, I manifested a free vacation. Like, random things just happen to work out for me. Like, I was doing well with the small, quote unquote, manifestations, but I wasn't quantum leaping into different tax brackets or just manifesting a dream car in a couple weeks. Like, I wasn't doing those things. And so I was like, okay, I see that my manifestation ability is getting better, and I'm able to kind of manifest things here and there, and, you know, have little surprises and little magical things happen around me here and there. But I was still telling myself, like, oh, well, you have this wound, or I would be in a conversation and I would be triggered, and then I'm like, that's something to work on. And then I'm like, oh, I'm impatient here, I got to work on my patience. You know what I mean? Like, I was constantly looking at myself as this broken person that didn't deserve their manifestations until they became fully healed. And so I got to this place where I sat there, I was in my car, and I was just like, what is going on? Because it's giving like, I did so much internal shifting so quickly, as in, like, within a couple years, I healed a lot of things. So I don't regret going about it this way. I know that I have more to heal. I know that even when I get to new levels, I'm still going to have things within myself that I want to address, that I want to regulate myself to be able to hold bigger and better, right? So it's like, I started viewing it as a never-ending journey, and that there isn't ever a point where you're like, oh, I'm fully healed and now I deserve my manifestations. Because I learned that in order to receive the manifestation, you have to become that identity of the version of you that already has it. And so by healing and telling myself I have to heal and heal and heal and heal and heal first and then manifest, I was operating from this subconscious belief, essentially, of unworthiness. I genuinely had this subconscious belief that was running on autopilot in the background for me all the time, that led to choices of healing and healing and healing, that said, I'm not worthy of receiving these bigger things because I haven't healed these things yet. Do you get what I mean? It was more so the sense of, I don't deserve those things. And it correlated to a lot of survival mode beliefs that I carried and operated from my whole life, because I saw my dad work his freaking ass off, and we had a comfortable life, but we weren't rich by any means. Like, we didn't go on all-inclusive vacations. Like, we went to Myrtle Beach, or we went to Maine to fish and camp, like, we were that kind of family. Like, we weren't going on these extravagant things. We didn't have that much money, but I saw my dad work so hard. He was never around. so that we could have a very average life. So what that taught me internally and subconsciously was that even to have the bare minimum, or to have average, or to have just a baseline that's normal, whether that be income, whatever, things in general, items, cars, whatever, I have to work so hard even just to feel comfortable in my life. So if I want these bigger things like a G-Wagon or an Audi or, $20,000 months or whatever, that means that I have to work even harder. So I applied that belief to my healing. I'm like, if I want this big vision to be my life, I have to heal and heal and heal and heal. Like, I'm not worthy as I am right now, even with some of my wounds, even with a little bit of impatience, even with a little bit of insecurity. I was like, that's not good enough. This version of me as I am right now doesn't deserve those things because I haven't worked hard enough for them. And this all stemmed from this unworthiness wound. I realized that it's not that you heal first and then you manifest, because what happens is if you're saying, I have to heal this until I can manifest that, you're delaying the new choices. You're delaying showing up in your life as this new identity. Like, for example, there was a couple months where I was working on my relationship with money. I thought that was the problem. And so I'm like, I'm telling myself for weeks and for months, like, I'm healing my money wounds, meaning that I'm not showing up as that rich identity of myself because I'm healing my money wounds. So what happens is as time goes on, I'm still being the version of me that has to heal and has this terrible relationship with money, right? And so I'm not stepping into the new identity. I'm not practicing a new way of being. I'm not changing anything about myself. I'm just listening to the subconscious beliefs that are in fear of money and regulating my nervous system when I receive an extra bill and all of this stuff. But every single day I wasn't choosing to rewrite that programming by making new decisions, by treating myself differently, by treating money differently, by treating my boyfriend differently. Like, there's so many situations in your life that you can make new choices that are in alignment to who you want to be. So essentially what all of this taught me was that it's not that step 1 is you heal, step 2 is you step into the new identity, and step 3 is the manifestation arrives. It is that you heal by aligning yourself to the new identity. So healing is still involved in the process, but my point here in this video is that you don't have to wait to become that person to then manifest. You can manifest as you're healing yourself. And you heal yourself by challenging yourself to show up differently, to think new thoughts, right? By choosing to meet that resistance, right? Because when you are used to associating yourself as a broke person, as someone who lives a certain way, that buys certain things, that can't buy organic food because it's too expensive, that can't, pay off their debt really quickly or in lump sums. Like, you have this identity of yourself that operates a certain way, and this is your normal. Now, in order to go from being a broke person or someone who is comfortable maybe but wants to manifest more money, it's not that you sit with your money wounds for weeks and months and then there's a threshold that you cross where then you start making new decisions. It's you heal your relationship with money by choosing to step into and making choices, decisions, taking action, feeling and thinking as if you are rich. Now, when you start to do that, you are going to kick up the subconscious resistance that you have towards being that person. That's what we heal. That's when we heal. But you're still challenging yourself to embody a new way of being, because we manifest who we are being, not what we do. Right? So in my head, when I was healing and telling myself like, oh, I'm manifesting because I'm just healing myself, even though every single day I made the same choices, felt the same way about myself in my life, like nothing was actually, the energy I was sending out to the quantum field or to the universe wasn't new. It was the same every day, even though I was telling myself I was healing. I was so stagnant for so long because I wasn't allowing myself to step into that new identity. So for example, if you guys are working on more so your relationship with yourself, like confidence, overcoming insecurity and shame, it's not like, yes, there's shadow work that we do where we sit with ourselves, but it's not that you heal and then you love yourself. It's that you choose to love yourself even when it is so challenging to. When you choose to love yourself, when you used to abandon yourself, is that moment of making that choice, even when it's uncomfortable, is what heals you. You heal yourself by choosing to feel, think, and act in new ways. So when you are healing your relationship with money, for example, you're going to feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel the most resistance in the beginning because you're shifting into identity of yourself that doesn't feel normal to you. So you're going to feel resistance. You're going to think the old thoughts. But the more that you put yourself in those situations where you can challenge yourself to grow, challenge yourself to make new choices, which will kick up that discomfort and that resistance for you to heal and regulate, or release or purge or whatever it is that we're dealing with here, that's what creates shifts. That's what creates energetic momentum. That's what creates healing within you, is because you're choosing to become the version of yourself that you've always wanted to be for you. You're choosing to treat yourself the way that no one has ever treated you, that you lacked for so long, but you're choosing to pour love into those wounds for yourself. When you can choose, every single choice collapses time. Every single choice you make that's in alignment to the version of you that has those manifestations is what collapses time. Reality has to organize itself around you based on the dominant frequency that you are broadcasting into the quantum field. The quantum field in the universe is just a mirror. It's not set up to purposely trip you up and test you. Like, I never even resonated with the word test, because to me that makes the universe or the quantum field or your angels, your spirit guides, whatever, to seem very like malicious, like they're trying to fuck you up. When in reality, it's required to mirror back to you who you're being. This is why you can sit there and it's probably not working, where you're like, oh, I have a Lamborghini, or I have this, or this is my new reality. You're affirming it, which is great because the words coming out of your mouth or the words you're sending out in your mind are what you desire. But if it's not paired with who you're being, if it's not paired with the belief and the feeling associated with those words and that thought, it doesn't matter. Because the universe, the quantum field, your guides, your angels, whatever, are listening to the frequency that you're being in, not the things you say. So it really becomes who we're being. So how can you start to wake up today after you watch this video? How can you make choices and feel as if you are that person that has that money, that has that dream partner, that has that friend group, that travels, whatever? How can you feel that way now? What do they do on a daily basis? How do they take care of themselves? Right? These are all things that we can start to do. And the more that you start to show up in the new identity, the more you'll notice things come up to the surface. You'll notice your subconscious mind bringing up all the contradictions that are currently in your programming that reject or contradict the identity that you're trying to be in. And that's okay. That's going to happen, right? At some point, someone who is now a billionaire CEO that used to be broke, at some point they had to start showing up and acting and being as if they're rich. That happened before the money came. Right? So another thing that I'm seeing online right now, just in people's discourse with each other and commentary and whatever, is that people are like, well, I don't have the money, so how can I be rich now? And that's the point. That's a massive, another lesson here in this video, is that if you're operating from needing the 3D to make you feel a certain way, that's why this work isn't working for you, because this work is actually the opposite of that. So instead of saying, oh, in order to believe it's true, I have to see it, you're not going to get anywhere. You're never going to receive it, because this work is, I must believe it to be true first in order to see it. So if you're relying and you're attached to your 3D reality and you're relying on the 3D to make you feel rich, to make you feel happy, essentially you are a victim to your life circumstances. You're a victim. You're kind of operating from this mentality of everything happens to me, when in reality, it's everything happens for me. So it's learning to It's not that you have to spend all this money to embody a rich identity. It's that the version of you that has $1 million in their bank account right now, how do they react to another bill coming? How do they pay their bills? How do they, like, what is the mentality when you pay your rent? That millionaire version of you that literally has $1 million in their account. How do they perceive everything else around them? What time do they wake up? What do they do? How do they take care of themselves? What is their routine like? How do they treat other people? How do they talk about money? Those are all things you can do now. So again, it's not financial advice. I'm not saying go spend all that money, charge your credit card, max everything out because the millionaire version of you wears Gucci every day. That's not the point. It's an internal state of being that's reflected to the quantum field or to the universe that is then reflected back to you. So if you're in this energy of waiting around, that energy of I'm waiting is going to be reflected back to you. And then you're waiting and waiting and waiting, right? That's another cycle. So it's really, there's so much that I could take this in and really sit here for like 5 hours and go in depth in everything. But the main things that I wanted to talk about in this video is that it's not that you heal and then you manifest. It's by choosing to manifest, by choosing to embody a different version of you, by choosing to think differently and feel differently and do new things, expose yourself to your fears, overcome your obstacles and feeling that discomfort, but still choosing to do the thing anyway. Right? The one choice that you make when you don't work out and you choose, even though you don't want to work out, that collapses time. You're shifting realities because there's also a version of you that says, I don't want to work out today, and they don't, and they stay where they are, right? So think about every single choice as it's shifting everything around you. The universe, the quantum field responds to who you are being. So that's what I want you guys to focus on. And yes, this work requires you to face yourself. It requires self-accountability and honesty. But I also am so passionate about getting you guys to actually start feeling differently and manifesting, actually seeing that you're manifesting. Because yes, we're going to heal. Yes, we're going to address. We don't bypass on my page or in my world or in my programs or in my services. Like if you work with me, we don't bypass things. If something comes up, we're addressing that shit. But I'm not also saying, well, you can't show up and make choices from the rich identity or the identity of yourself that has that dream partner yet because you are insecure. Like, no, we're going to overcome that insecurity by you choosing to put yourself in confidence and feel and listen to your body and listen to the thoughts that come up that say, hey, like this is really uncomfortable for us, but you still align and do that thing anyway. You still get up and do that speech. You still go to the gym even though gym culture is intimidating to you, right? How are we going to become confident if we're not choosing to place ourselves in the environments and do the things that the confident version of us does and acts like and wears and dresses like and whatever? So I really believe that healing happens as you go. Like when I kept healing and healing and healing myself, and I was essentially saying, I'm not good enough yet. I'm not perfect enough yet. I'm not healed enough yet to receive those big things. I haven't worked hard enough. I haven't cried enough. I haven't purged enough. You know what I mean? And again, this happens as you go, but this is why so many people are stagnant. This is why I was stagnant for months and even years, because I was telling myself that I'm not worthy as I am right now to receive. And I didn't understand that it's not about perfection. It's about alignment. Aligning yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, and your action or your behavior to the version of yourself that lives that reality. The more and more you become that identity, the more and more that reality has absolutely no choice but to collapse into that reality for you, because you're being that person that lives that life, that lives that reality. You became a vibrational match for your desire. So it's arrived, right? So healing happens along the way. It's a part of the journey. It's a part of the process, but it doesn't mean that you can't become that. You can't have that thing because you haven't healed enough, or you're not perfect enough, you're not worthy enough yet. So the question now becomes, how can I feel worthy right now to receive the things that I desire? So sit with that question, and let me know what you guys think about this. I'm just noticing so much more progress in my life and so much results because I'm already acting and being from this knowing. I'm walking and making choices from this self-trust, from this energy of I trust myself. I trust this. I know this. I know this is my reality. I know this to be true. And I'm seeing that being reflected back to me. It's so, so cool. There's so many little things that I've been doing, like kind of setting out these intentions, and then I realized that they become true. Like, I was like, oh, every time I log into my YouTube channel, I gain 20 subscribers, just to play around with it. And I do. And sometimes it's even more. And like, I don't know, I'm just over the more that I thought that I had to heal so much within myself to feel safe being seen by more people. But it's actually me putting myself in front of more people that makes me feel safe in that. Like, the more that I post, the more that I show up, the more that I talk, the more that I share, the more that I post my readings, the more that I receive feedback, the more I'm like, yeah, this is normal. This is okay, right? Like, I don't fear this. I don't fear having new followers or new comments. Like, so it's not that I'm going to put myself behind closed doors and heal my fear of being seen and then come out as this confident version of me. It's actually choosing to be seen even when I'm scared is what makes me feel safe and being seen by more people. That's what makes me feel regulated and safe. Like, that's what regulates my nervous system, is exposing myself to the fear that I have, even though it's scary. And then noticing that, like, oh yeah, that's fine. Instead of my past self, when I would gain 1,000 followers overnight, I'd wake up and like immediately check my phone and be scared because my nervous system wasn't regulated. I didn't feel safe and being seen. And now that I do, and now I show up, now I'm like, oh my God, this video was just coming through me today, as I was just going to post this on my Instagram, just like the last video I posted and just chatted with you guys. And so I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't even have a thought. I just grabbed my camera. I didn't even have a thought of like, oh, well, like, I don't even know. My past self would be like, well, is this too much? Or, like, you have to do your hair. You have to change your shirt. Like, all this crap. And I literally today I was like, oh my God, I have to expand on this on my YouTube. And I just grabbed my camera and I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? You know what I mean? Oh, you guys, life is so freaking good on the other side of fear. It's literally just all an illusion. It's so freaking scary. And then when you actually overcome it, you're like, oh, I am so much more powerful than this fear. Like, I am so much more powerful than the fear that I have. It's just scary to look at it in the face. But then you realize that you're more powerful than the fear. And then you just hop right over it. And you're like, okay. Anyway. I don't know what else to say, you guys. I hope that maybe like this really had some light bulb moments for you. Maybe you realize like, oh, the version of myself right now is worthy of having that. The only reason why I don't believe that to be true is just because of my programming. There's something within me right now that feels like there's something wrong with the version of me that I am right now. And I have to change something about myself in order to receive this big thing that I want. And that's not true. So what the universe, quantum field, your guides, your angels, your higher self, whatever, they're waiting for you to choose right now that you are worthy, right? Like, imagine watching I'm seeing a basketball court right now. Like, imagine watching a movie where this kid is like a lean kid. He doesn't look like a basketball player. He's been on the bench. And the whole time that's taught him that he's not good enough at basketball. He's not good enough to play the game. And then he, has this courage and he gets up and he gets in the coach's face and he's like, I'm worthy right now to get on that court. There's nothing about me. I've practiced. I've worked my ass off. I'm just like everybody else. How come I can't get in the game? Just his brave act of saying, I'm worthy right now. By him overcoming what everyone taught him in this metaphor, right? Everyone says you're not good enough. And the second that he chooses that he is good enough, the coach is like, okay, you're in the next quarter. That's it. The universe is waiting for you to know and believe that you are worthy right now. So what is it within you that feels like it's not? What do you think you have to change about yourself to have that car, that job, that lifestyle, that apartment, that house, that land, that relationship? What is it? Let me know, you guys. Honestly, I don't have a schedule of posting these videos. I literally just, as something's coming through me, I get on and I record it. Some weeks I don't have anything. Some weeks it's just reading. Some weeks it's like I have something important right now. So if you have any questions, I could answer them in the comments, or I can make a video answering a bunch of questions in one video, like a Q&A, whatever it may be. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I will see your DMs over there. My links, my services will be down below. If you guys want to have one call with me and just chat, understand what's going on and what you can start shifting, that comes with 1 week of Telegram support as well. As you start shifting, you can still text me. And then I also have services for 1 month. If you want to commit to 1 month of private coaching with me, see how we can heal and manifest at the same freaking time and watch the results happening outside yourself in response to who you're being, the shifts that you're creating within yourself. So that is 2 calls that you get with me and 1 month of Telegram support, private coaching via text, basically. So you can ask me questions as you're starting to implement and integrate everything that we're learning. And that's pretty much all I have right now. I also have readings. So if you guys see my readings on here and you're like, I want a reading, what happens is you will purchase the reading through my website, and then I will deliver the reading to you via an audio file. So I'll do the reading, and then I'll send you an audio voice note of the reading and a picture of the card spread so you can look at it as I am doing the reading for you. And that's how that works. So yeah, if you guys want a reading, you just want to understand what's going on, you want to ask a question, you want me to just read the energy, that's what I'll do in the reading. And then the other services are more so like actually doing the work with me and getting the coaching and the mentorship, the support, the accountability, the empowerment. So yeah, that's what I have available for you guys at this time. Let me know. I can't wait to see you in the DMs or if you book a call with me, and I can't wait. Yeah, thank you for being here in this video, and I can't wait to hear what you think about it. Again, I don't regret anything that I've done. I learn because I've learned from it. So therefore the regret isn't there. Like, I don't regret being stagnant for a long time in my life because I now understand why. I get it. I can now teach on it. I can now pinpoint it in other people. I see it immediately when other people are being or thinking the way that I used to think, right? So just transparency and honesty. And, you know, my journey's been freaking crazy. I feel like everyone feels that way, but I just really know I'm sitting here in this energy of like, I just trust and know that everything is happening for me and I'm exactly where I need to be. And so are you. So love you guys so much. I will be back, and peace.